the president is obviously banned from most social media apps, but those apps, they've definitely benefited from the president's presence on their apps in the past. So who's more hurt by this? Is the president more hurt by it, or are some of these apps more hurt by it, losing followers and some of the attention that the president draws?
Oh, I think the president is more hurt by it. I think these apps kind of saw this day as being inevitable. Obviously, the Capitol siege has expedited their actions on Donald Trump, but many were planning on taking action on him after he left office. You'll recall Twitter and Facebook both said that they gave him special treatment while he was president for national security reasons. They wanted the president of the United States to have a megaphone in case he needed to tweet something about a national emergency, national security, etc. But both of those apps had said that that sort of immunity may go away once he actually left office. And so I see this as being something that was inevitable. I think the tech platforms, because they're united here, almost every single one, we have a running list on Axios, is taking action, means that not a single one is going to get called out for going against him. Really, the president losing his massive social media megaphone is the big loser here.
Yeah, I don't think any of these social media sites are going to get called out for banning the president, but we're seeing this morning Twitter's down about 6%, so there's certainly an investor impact. Going forward, does the president have a different option to access his followers and the people that want to hear from him online? I mean, Friendster doesn't exist anymore. MySpace, I'm pretty sure, got shut down. So are there other avenues that the president can go to?
Almost every company, Frank, is banning him, and that goes to campaign marketing email platforms, that's online stores, it's payment processors. So no, he really doesn't have much of an option. His digital director tried to create an account that he could use to message to people. That got shut down immediately. So he's really stuck here. But to your point about the markets, one of the things that this incident exposes these companies to is perhaps more conversations around regulations of platforms. A lot of people think that companies like Twitter and Facebook were too slow to act against the president. Meanwhile, we're having conversations on Capitol Hill about what it looks like to have content moderation rules be changed, Section 230 of the Communications Act. And so it would really come down to when you see that stock moving, it's not just user engagement, but it exposes them to more regulation, which could hurt the companies long term.
So, Sarah, back in September, Attorney General Bill Barr, he actually had a statement after the president met with state AGs to talk about social media networks. Here's what he said. Congress should hold online platforms accountable when they unlawfully censor speech and when they knowingly facilitate egregious criminal activity online. Obviously, following what we saw on Wednesday, are these social media sites actually just doing what the Attorney General asked them to do to take accountability? And do you see them having any more fallout from Congress or maybe even other federal regulators for allowing some of these messages to get out to begin with?
Well, I mean, of course, each side politically is going to play this the way that they want it. Attorney General Bill Barr is going to play this from the conservative lens, which is you're censoring us, this is Orwellian, et cetera. Of course, people on the left are going to say you're giving people that are dangerous a platform. So everyone wants to crack down on tech companies that don't really alter the rules in their favor. Tech companies have been regulated by Congress. You'll remember SESTA FOSTA, which was regulation around sex trafficking, did get passed. And so they have been held account by Congress before. I think what you're going to see now is there's going to be new conversations on Capitol Hill around how do we introduce amendments, not just to the Communications Decency Act, but also to other forms of the regulation that would help keep these companies account for things like terrorism, domestic terrorism, people congregating online to do harm. That's where I think they have the most exposure. Limiting people's political speech is always going to be tough, but holding them to account when people are planning riots where there are things like guns and weaponry involved is something where I think there's going to be much more bipartisan support on Capitol Hill to go after them.
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.